Hi, my needle drips, droops, droplets. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Gonna do an album review, but first, before I do that, I want to make a mention on the blog right now, theneedledrop.com. We're going to do a mixtape battle on May 28th with Radio, another blog who we're in the midst of a pretty heated there's a feud going on. Link in the D box, 528. We're going to drop our mixtape. They're going to drop their mixtape. Listen to both of them. Hit us up on Twitter. Tell us which one you like more. And that's pretty much it. Alright, this LP is Hippies from the band Harlem. And these guys are a sloppy, energetic garage rock trio from the good old state of Texas. To be honest, I've probably listened to a lot more garage rock than I've actually covered on this channel this year. For example, like the new Let's Wrestle record, new record from Eddie Current Suppression Ring, The Strange Boys, The OCs too. There's also a new Mark Sultan album out. Yeah, part of it is, I'm really looking for something that's going to rock my face off. And those 5 LPs certainly do that. But I want something that's going to pull at my heartstrings a little bit too, just speak to the inner Anthony, the emotional Anthony as well. But when this record opened and I listened to the first track, I knew that I was in for something a little bit different. Someday soon, you'll be on fire. And you'll ask me for a glass of water. I'll say no. You can just let that burn. And you'll say, please, please, please put me out. Maybe that's not a very eloquent statement. Maybe not the most flowery language. But it is heartfelt. It's very heartfelt. And that's what makes this LP a standout for me. The messy, immediate garage rock appeal is most definitely there. And that makes the music feel real and down to earth and all that other good jazz. But there's also something funny, or sad, or clever to relate to in the lyrics and the hooks also. And I dig the production on this album too. Of course, it's not immaculate. The guitars are really tinny, the bass is really muddy and thick, and the drums have a ton of room ambience on them, as if the whole band is just playing live in a really small room, like an elevator or an attic or a basement. The sound just gets the job done. And the vocals are really passionate too, and there are a ton of swears in the lyrics. Not that, that's offensive, but still, kind of speaks to the down-to-earth nature of this album. These guys don't give a so they're going to say f. There are some artists who just won't swear because they don't consider it poetic, or they think of themselves as being above swearing when they're playing music, but yet will swear in average everyday conversations. It's kind of silly. These guys are definitely more interested in having fun instead of just sounding slick. And that's what these 16 tracks pretty much boil down to. It's about partying and dancing like no one is watching. It's completely unself-conscious music, which in some ways can really help it, and in other ways can really hurt it. It helps because it brings just some really authentic energy to this album. When a band is sounding like they're having fun making the recording and playing the songs, it's hard for the listener not to get into that same feeling. But maybe if these guys were a little more self-conscious, more conscious of how they sound in the greater scheme of things, maybe they would have spent some time hammering out a more distinctive sound, something that once you hear it, you could pull it out of a lineup against all the other garage rock groups out there today. But it's not like we can blame these guys for the popularity of garage rock to begin with. It's not their fault that there are a lot of bands playing this kind of stuff. And overall, a lot of these tracks hit, only a couple of them miss, which is kind of bound to happen over a string of 16 songs. You've got a really consistent sound, a lot of memorable hooks, a little bit of 60s nostalgia, and just overall, some good vibes. Based on how much I liked each individual track, I can give this thing a pretty decent to strong 7. It's a good LP. It's a really good LP. It didn't blow my mind. It's not in mind-blowing territory. However, it still is a really good album with a lot of stand-out friggin' songs. I highly recommend that you guys give this a listen. There are a few tracks below in the D-Box that you can hear, and if you've heard of this band, or if you've heard this LP, tell me what you think. Do you love this band? Do you hate them? And why? Anthony Fantano, Harlem Hippies, forever.